Coming up, 5 men affiliated with Theta Tau are suing the university for a total of $5 million in damages. What does the lawsuit entail for both parties?
And a new LGBTQ shelter is opening in Syracuse. See what one of the directors had to say about the planned opening.
And Citrus TV reporter Greg Bradbury is live in Hendricks Chapel, where in just an hour, a student-run town hall will be taking place to continue the discussion of diversity on campus. Citrus TV News starts right now.
5 individuals associated with the band engineering fraternity Theta Tau are suing Syracuse University. Good evening, I'm Federico.
And I'm Rebekah Castor. According to the lawsuit, which was filed yesterday morning, 5 brothers anonymously listed as John Does are suing SU for $1 million each based on damages from past and future mental anguish and distress, irreparable damage to their reputation, and humiliation.
Citrus TV reporter Carmela Boykin has more information on the lawsuit and what it entails.
Thanks, guys. The defendants in the case include Chancellor Ken Severud, Assistant Dean and Director of Student Rights and Affairs Pamela Peter, SU Dean of Students Robert Fratsky, and the Dean of College of Engineering and Computer Science Teresa A. Dahlberg. The lawsuit states that the defendants have repeatedly made false statements against members of Theta Tau by labeling them as, quote, racist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, sexist, and hostile to people with disabilities. The suit argues that these statements are false because they do not provide the context that the video is meant to be satire. The skit was part of a Theta Tau tradition called the roast, which is described as a time-honored chapter tradition that builds unity by satirically and hyperbolically depicting brothers. The lawsuit argues that the video has consistently decontextualized and distorted as part of the university's public relations campaign. The individuals are also suing based on how their interim suspension has been handled, as the students were allegedly suspended out of caution and concern for the campus community. However, efforts to help with the plaintiffs with their studies have not been made, and they risk losing some or all of their academic credit from this semester. The statement continuously notes that the suspension is occurring at a crucial time for students, as there are only 2 weeks left of school. Furthermore, the lawsuit argues that the handling of the quasi-suspension has not followed the Student Handbook Code of Conduct. Part of the case also states that the speech in the skit is protected by the First Amendment. The court case will take place on August 2nd of this year at the U.S. Courthouse here in Syracuse. Connor and Rebekah, back to you.
Thank you, Carmela. Tonight there will be another discussion taking place to continue the movement forward from the videos that were released over the past week. Citrus TV reporter Greg Bradbury joins us live from outside of Hendricks Chapel, where the discussion is taking place.
Yeah, guys, well, right behind me here in Hendricks Chapel, a student-led town hall will be taking place in just about an hour. Now, similar to last week's event that took place here at 2:30, no audio or visual recordings will be allowed. However, the Recognize Us SU movement said they wanted to be as transparent as possible with the media, and they really were the ones who advocated for this. Now, earlier this week, the school sent out an email to students saying that this event would be taking place and saying that its goal is to confront bigotry and intolerance here on campus, and they really want to create a step-by-step process to getting back to a healthier campus community. Now, the Recognize Us SU movement is the one that really advocated to have this, and they also demanded that the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees be in attendance tonight. Now, by the end of tonight at 11:59, the Recognize Us SU movement wants to have a concrete plan by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees with steps forward. Now, you can follow along on Twitter at Citrus TV News for tonight's event live coverage that starts at 7. Now, with that, I'm Greg Bradbury reporting live from Hendricks Chapel. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Greg. And the Newhouse School has announced their finalists for the 2018 Mirror Awards. The competition is for journalists in the media industry who have done an exceptional job covering news and entertainment this past year. There are 6 categories with 3 to 4 journalists as finalists, with reporters from New York Times, Bloomberg, Vanity Fair, Washington Post, and more. Prizes range from $1,000 to $5,000.
The largest change coming to this year's Mayfest impacts one of the event's traditions, the free booze. Citrus TV's Brendan Tierney reports that students of a legal age must purchase a drink bracelet before the event.
To consume alcohol at this year's Mayfest, you must purchase a bracelet for $3 and shine. The change was made to mirror events at other colleges like Cornell and bring Mayfest in alignment with events such as Senior Celebration.
The students don't seem to mind they're paying the $3. We had 180 students yesterday, which isn't a large portion, but none of them complained about paying $3 for their bracelet. We hope we'll see more today, and we'll see probably lots on Friday.
An estimated 3,500 students are old enough to consume alcohol at Mayfest. But the change to pre-purchase bracelets has forced the university to implement new guidelines and educate students.
The guidelines around, having your SUID, your government-issued ID, as well as if you are coming as a guest, you will need a guest ticket as well as those forms of ID.
The most troublesome part for students buying bracelets is that they have to wear them until Friday. This was done to prevent people from passing them off to underage friends.
I thought it might be a little annoying. I did it yesterday for the whole day. It was kind of annoying. But I mean, I'm just hoping that none of the tabs fall off, because that could be an issue. But other than that, I don't think it'll be too bad.
If you aren't excited about possibly having to wear a bracelet for 3 days, you can still get bracelets on Friday morning. Doors open here in Goldstein Auditorium at 9 a.m. and will close at 4:30. Mayfest begins at 1 o'clock. Brendan Tierney, Citrus TV News.
With the bracelets comes expanded drink options, including gluten-free beer, cider, and wine slushies. Once all 3 tabs have been taken from a bracelet, you are not able to enter back into the 21+ section of the park.
And a new shelter for LGBTQ youths is coming to Syracuse. 2 Onondaga County-based agencies, the Rescue Mission and ACR Health, are currently working to secure funding and a permanent location for the home. The shelter hopes to serve as a place for refugees, for runaway and homeless youth, with a specific focus on bisexual, transgender, and gay individuals ages 12 to 17. Dan Sieber, CEO of the Rescue Mission Alliance, says the need for a shelter for LGBTQ youth is apparent.
They're on the street, they're doing sex work, they're falling into, all types of things, I guess, that the world can provide for a place to sleep that's not healthy and not going to get them back on their feet. And so, being a home service provider, we realize we need to get involved and somehow provide something for these kids.
Dozens of Syracuse community leaders gathered together on Tuesday afternoon to condemn gun violence in Syracuse. The gathering comes after a string of deadly shootings over the course of 3 days. 20-year-old Marvina Adams was fatally shot late Monday night. She was the 3rd and latest victim of gun violence in Syracuse. Community leaders are asking for the violence to end.
New York State Senator John DeFrancisco is suspending his campaign for governor. This comes after a number of DeFrancisco's supporters switched to back Mark Molinaro, the other Republican running for the seat. DeFrancisco is not completely dropping out from the race. The state senator says he's just ending his campaign and advertising. And Wegmans is opposing Governor Cuomo's plan to ban plastic bags across New York State. The ban proposed by Cuomo would put a ban on single-use plastic bags on the first day of next year. Plastic bags cost less to make than paper ones, and a spokeswoman for the grocery chain says making paper bags takes more resources than plastic. And yesterday was so nice we even saw some sun, but today was the complete opposite.
It rained almost all day, and weather anchor Jessica Torricelli is here in studio to tell us if we'll see rain in the rest of the week. Jessica?
Well, yeah, guys, yesterday was very nice, about the 60s and partly sunny. Really great weather. Today, take a look at this quad cam, completely different. A lot of cloud cover, and the wind was a little higher today, but it's changed and it's a little calmer for now and to the rest of the night. We might see about an inch of rain tonight, but tomorrow and Friday is when we're going to really see a lot of rain, pretty much widespread throughout the day. And I know we're all interested in knowing what Mayfest weather is going to be. I'll have that coming up in my full weather forecast across the break.
Thank you, Jessica. Coming up, French President Emmanuel Macron spoke to the U.S. Congress today. Find out what he had to say.
And how will Trump react when a caravan of Central American migrants finally reaches the border? Stay tuned.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Wait. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Another revised version of President Trump's travel ban is back in the Supreme Court, and it's likely to pass.
Trump's travel ban has been shot down in the courts twice already after justices noted that it largely discriminated towards Muslim countries. The latest version of the ban adds more travel restrictions to non-Muslim countries, such as North Korea and Venezuela.
Justices seemed in favor of the ban today during an hour-long courtroom debate. The final verdict will be decided by late June.
French President Emmanuel Macron visited Congress today, calling for the United States to better engage in global affairs.
Macron urged President Trump to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord, saying there is no Planet B, and emphasized the importance of preserving the planet. Macron also encouraged that Trump remain in the Iran Accord, a plan which prevents Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons.
Prior to his U.S. visit, Macron spoke with German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who is set to visit Washington this Friday.
The sexual assault trial of comedian Bill Cosby is going to jury.
After hearing closing arguments, the jurors will decide on a conclusion to the trial. Prosecutors say Cosby drugged and molested several women, including Andrea Costand.
The lawyers for the 80-year-old say the charges against Cosby are based on, quote, flimsy, silly, ridiculous evidence. The defense rested its case on Monday.
And the identity of the infamous serial killer known as the Golden State Killer is now public. California authorities say they have Joseph James DeAngelo in custody without bail in Sacramento.
During his crime spree, DeAngelo is believed to have committed 12 killings and at least 50 rapes from 1976 to 1986. Police matched DNA evidence from his Sacramento home with evidence from the crimes.
DeAngelo faces a capital murder charge in connection with the crimes.
The United States and France are discussing a new deal regarding Iran's nuclear program.
U.S. President Donald Trump and French President Emmanuel Macron are set to expand a previous accord from 2015. The agreement, made between Iran and 6 other countries, said that Iran would limit its nuclear development. In exchange, the other countries would lift severe economic sanctions from Iran.
In response to the most recent discussions, Iran's president warned that the U.S. will experience severe consequences should they withdraw from the 2015 agreement.
A caravan of Central American migrants is en route to the Mexican and American border. The caravan has drawn the ire of President Trump, who says he will not let them in, legally or otherwise.
The migrants come from Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras, among other Central American countries. They are seeking asylum from poverty and violence in their homelands.
President Trump is using the caravan as grounds to deploy the National Guard to the southwest border.
President Moon Jae-in and President Trump are expected to hold a summit ahead of the highly anticipated meeting between Trump and Kim Jong-un of North Korea.
The meeting between President Trump and Kim Jong-un could come as early as next month. A summit between Moon Jae-in and Kim Jong-un would be the third inter-Korean summit since the Korean War.
Trump has suggested he will walk away from the meeting if his demands are not met.
And protests in Mexico have erupted after the murder of 3 students who went missing 5 weeks ago in Guadalajara.
Authorities released a statement saying the drug cartel kidnapped, tortured, and then dissolved the university students' bodies in acid. Prosecutors believe the killings were a case of, quote, mistaken identity, and they were targeted by rival gang members.
2 suspects have been arrested and are likely to face charges.
And coming up, why you might be paying more for your wine in the future.
And what new features will you find on your Gmail account soon? Find out after the break.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Got a quarter?
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
In central New York, 54 for Syracuse, 56 for Fulton, and pretty much around the 50s throughout central New York, maybe 58. We might get a little warmer to the 60s tonight when that cloud cover kind of dissipates and we get a little bit more wind in tonight. But looking at this storm here, you can see this is the rain that we have on top of New York State right now, and that's moving out through Thursday and Friday, but that's not going to be completely gone by Thursday and Friday. So right now we have a lot of rain, and what does that mean for Syracuse? Well, currently this is what it looks like, and throughout the day tomorrow we're going to be seeing spots of rain and spots of cloud cover. So we probably won't really see any sun, but we'll be seeing a lot of cloud cover through Thursday and Friday. Rain though for Thursday, 60% chance in the morning, so I think that we're going to have a higher chance of seeing about an inch of rain in the morning, and then throughout the day that chance goes away and we're just going to see some cloud cover and higher winds, about 16 miles per hour tomorrow. So definitely bring a heavy rain jacket, get ready for some windy conditions and rain in the morning when you start going to class. But Mayfest, I'm sure we're all really interested in what that weather might look like. I hate to say it, but I think we'll be seeing some drizzly rain conditions in the morning. Right here, 7 a.m. I don't know if anyone's going to be awake then, but we're thinking about a little bit of drizzle in the morning. And then throughout the day, by about 12, we see late rain increasing a little bit more than a drizzle, and we're going to be seeing more rain from 2 to 5. But as Mayfest is earlier in the day, it won't really impact too much of those festivities in Walnut Park. And while we go into Block Party, the rain will be mostly confined to the nighttime hours. We'll be inside, so it'll be pretty great. And our 5-day forecast here, as I mentioned, rain for most of the weekend. Sunday and Monday, though, we might have a good chance of seeing a little bit of sun peeking through the clouds, but still a lot of cloud cover. That's your full forecast.
All right, thanks, Jessica. As wine production decreases worldwide, the price you might pay for your wine will likely be going up. Wine production is down 8.6% from 2016. While American wine production was stable, European wine production, which makes up 65% of the world's wine, was down, especially in France and Spain. Prices will likely increase because of the smaller amount of wine across the world.
And Google is updating a major feature for its users, mainly due to the email hacks back in 2016. A new version of Gmail is coming out this week with more security, priority features, a tasks panel, and a new design. Google has made a confidential mode for emails where the user can set an expiration date ranging from 1 day to 5 years. The mode also opens a window where the receiver cannot forward, copy, or print the message. Google is also adding a color-coded warnings on suspicious emails.
That's why I always say long live Hotmail. But coming up in sports, postseason. It's playoff time pretty much everywhere as the SU Lacrosse team start ACC Tournament play, and the NBA, NHL, and AHL are supplying some classics. Plus, SU just racks up those awards. I'll fill you in fully when we come back.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Whoa!
Gear up, guys.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. I'm Noah Eagle with sports. What a difference a year makes. Last year, heading into the ACC Tournament, the Syracuse men's lacrosse team was on about as impressive a tear as possible. 9 straight wins, the #1 team in the country. It looked like the Orange was pretty much unbeatable. This year, losers of 2 of the last 3, including a 13-12 defeat to Navy on Saturday. But the dominance was still there in conference play. 4-0 in the regular season versus ACC opponents, which actually worries head coach John Desko a little bit.
Rematches are always difficult, especially when you won the first one. You know, the team that lost that game might be a little bit hungrier, you know, when they face each other next. So we've got to rise to the occasion. We've got to play well. And, you know, really, for me, it's just how we play. If we can take care of business and play well, get rid of our mistakes and our turnovers, then we'll do fine.
Syracuse plays Virginia on Friday at 8:30, and last game between the two was a 12-11 SU victory. On the women's side, Syracuse opens up ACC tournament play tomorrow in Durham. SU is the 7th seed, drawing #2 North Carolina, and these two played earlier this season with the Tar Heels dominating 20-11 in Central New York. The Orange comes into the tournament 9-8 on the season, an abysmal 1-6 in conference play. That one win didn't come until the final game of the regular season last weekend versus Louisville. Game time set for 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. Now, 2 players you can count on hearing a lot tomorrow, Emily Harris-Chuck and Kerry DeFleece. Both have been voted to the All-ACC team. Harris-Chuck leads SU in goals and points this season, while DeFleece recorded a career high in caused turnovers, ground balls, and draw controls. And sticking with the accolades, the Syracuse track and field team has made those a habit in the last few years, thanks in large part to Justin Knight. He, along with Paige Stoner, have been named ACC Performers of the Week after destroying school records last weekend. Both Knight and Stoner will race at Stanford a week from Friday. The Chiefs played earlier today and snapped a 2-game losing streak with a 4-2 win over the Indianapolis Indians. This one went extras, with Syracuse improving to 11-7 on the season, and the Chiefs and Indians are now tied at 3 in the season series. Syracuse has the day off tomorrow before hosting Rochester on Friday. And the Crunch can move on in the Calder Cup playoffs tonight. Syracuse travels to Rochester for Game 3 with the Americans at 7. Syracuse has been stellar on the road this season, 22 wins away from the War Memorial. Also, a goalie change for the Crunch in this elimination contest. Connor Ingram gets the call in net for Game 3. Full slate of NBA playoff games tonight, including some win-or-go-home situations. First, it's the Wizards, Raptors, and Pacers, Cavaliers, both tied at 2. The Pacers couldn't take a 3-1 series lead a few nights ago at home, losing 104-100. Two teams that had no problem taking 3-1 leads in their series, the Rockets and the Jazz. Houston used a 50-point third quarter to run away with Game 4, while Donovan Mitchell and Utah have seemingly figured out the Thunder. Both teams look to close it out and move on at 9:30 tonight.
All right, Noah, who do you think has a better chance come this weekend? The women's lacrosse team down in Durham or the men's lacrosse team over there in Charlottesville?
Well, the numbers have to tell you that it's the men. 4-0 in the regular season in the ACC, and the women, as I mentioned, just 1-6 in conference play during the regular season. So it wasn't the best regular season for the women in conference play. I'll give the advantage to the men.
All right, thanks so much, Noah. And Citrus TV News will be right back.
You've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
5-day forecast right there. There's rain tomorrow and some rain on Mayfest. I'm sorry. Saturday, rain. Sunday, partly cloudy, and Monday, also partly cloudy. Maybe see a little bit of sun throughout the rest of the week coming up.
So Jessica, with the rain tomorrow, but with it also being a little bit warmer, what should we be wearing?
I would say a lighter rain jacket, but be prepared for a lot of wind in the afternoon.
All right, and then after that, Mayfest, you brought the bad news. It is going to rain, but we're making that transition from outdoors to indoors to the Dome. So what's the plan there?
Honestly, I think that wear shorts, wear a skirt, do what you want, wear a crop top, be comfortable in the day because you're not going to have another chance, and then go inside for block party. It'll be warm and not rainy.
Yes, so Jessica, this is actually your last Mayfest and also your last show here at Citrus TV. So do you have anything you want to say about your time here at Citrus?
I mean, I'll miss the wacky weather. I would say that. We've had some really strange weather this semester. I'll miss Q's. I really enjoy this campus and the Dome and Citrus TV and everybody here. But I'm happy to graduate and move on too.
Well, we want to thank you for everything that you've done for this station over your time here. We also want to thank our outstanding producer, Kate Wyatt, our directors, Joey Lino and Isha Batu, and our wonderful TD, Victoria, as well. It's been a heck of a semester, guys.
Yes, we've had quite a blast, and you can catch us here back on Citrus TV News in the fall. And that's all we have for tonight. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Citrus TV News. And from all of us at Citrus TV, I'm Rebekah Castor.
And I'm Federico. Thanks for watching, and for the final time this semester, have a good night, Syracuse.